Live streaming is on.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 23rd, 2020. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Golden age, baby. Unconfiscatable. Compete, don't complain. Conviction, yes, I am offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. If you got questions, I got answers. Type them into that into the chat box there. I'll see it. We got time for questions today, definitely. So I'm pumped for tomorrow is Friday. This Week in Bitcoin, Alex Svetsky, JW Weatherman, and John Vallis will be on the show. 11 a.m. New York time, Baltimore time, Washington, D.C. time. I believe, what's that, 4 p.m. in London. So 8 a.m. here in Los Angeles. So I'll be up early. JW will be up early at his undisclosed West Coast location. All right, what a difference a month makes. Remember, just on a little over a month ago, what was it, March 12th, Bitcoin was going to zero. Everyone was in panic mode, the end of the world as we know it. And now look, today, we are 18 days away from the Bitcoin halving. And what was the news of the day, you fiat freaks out there? Yes, Bitcoin, in terms of its fiat numbers, has reached a high, a post-crash high, I believe. It got up to 7,600 today or something, which is as high as it's been since that Black Thursday. Was that what it was called, March 12th? I don't even know what it was called. But for me, it was just another freaking blip on the radar, and it was a chance to get more Bitcoin. And there were just so many people that going to zero talk, some freaks out there brought it back. You thought that one would never come back, but everyone that freaking like button. But now you look back and you see how silly it is. So again, there's a day after today, a day after tomorrow. There is a future, and we're one day closer to an all-time high. And this halving thing is on the radar. And the halving hype has it started as best as it can in this negative environment. The press, the media is obsessed with negativity, and that bleeds into the crypto world too. And the whole halving hype concept was that the mainstream media, as in 2016, they did start talking about the halving quite a bit in a positive way, due to the unfortunate circumstances out there today. The hysteria, the media generated hysteria. We're probably not going to see. Never say never though. Maybe the media will pick up on this story. Some media will want, but I mean, this is the only positive story out there. Having freaking hype, baby. It is a positive event on May the 12th. And you don't even have to leave the house to celebrate it. And it can't get canceled. All right. So yes. So Bloomberg comes out with a report. I believe it was yesterday. And now someone sent it to me yesterday. I didn't have time to read it last night. I did look at it today. And I got to say, a lot of people, Bloomberg has been down on Bitcoin before. Bloomberg's been up on Bitcoin at certain times, but some people aren't big fans of Bloomberg's coverage of Bitcoin. Now, it's their maturity leap report. They basically say Bitcoin has matured. It's taken a leap. It's a positive report. It is a positive report. It's a Bitcoin-friendly report, I would say, and overall cryptocurrency friendly. And it has passed the maturity test, Bitcoin, apparently. And what else does this report mention? And it's very important to note that the report talks about Libra, it talks about Fed coins, it talks about JPMorgan coin and bank coins. And and that should tell you a lot right there, because those are triggers for mainstream interest, whether you like it or not. The Bloomberg fans of the world, they need the comfort of knowing, well, governments are going to make cryptocurrencies, and Mark Zuckerberg is making a cryptocurrency, and maybe banks are going to be making a cryptocurrency. And they talk about various aspects of those types of cryptocurrencies. But I got to say, a lot of people say we'll try to create FUD, like JPMorgan coin will be bad for Bitcoin, Libra will be bad for Bitcoin, Fed coins are bad for Bitcoin. And I've said all along, those are all good for Bitcoin. And we're getting closer to those things being realities also. And Bloomberg and all the Bloomberg fans of the world will jump on those stories. Those will be huge stories if they ever happen. When they happen. I assume Libra will be, maybe some minor Fed coins before Libra. Maybe it all happened at the same time. Who knows? Golden age. And that's the part of the golden age. You might not like these centralized type of cryptocurrencies, but they're building. They're building. We'll talk about that on Saturday's show a little bit more. Mark Andreessen talked about how people got to go out there and build. And at least Zuckerberg is building something out there. My point is this report, it's good for Bitcoin. It talks about these other types of coins out there too. And we should realize that you might not like those type of coins, but the mainstream loves those, to hear those type of things. And once those things actually happen, or once they get closer to happen, it will help Bitcoin. And hey, it's going to be after the halving too. So who knows? A lot of good things will be coming together. Now, let's go back to the report itself. A new Bloomberg research report expects Bitcoin to see gains in the next year. This year marks a key test for Bitcoin's transition toward a quasi-currency like gold, and we expect it to pass. So they talk about gold a lot in this report also, comparing Bitcoin to gold. They seem to be gold fans also in this time of the virus. And so they talk about the virus may give Libra life, spur the Fed's digital currency. The virus may highlight vulnerabilities in cash-based transactions. So you've seen a lot of mainstream outlets pick up on, cash is dirty and you can get diseases from cash, and thus we need to go digital, and markets are based on outdated technology, driving the Fed to reconsider issuing a digital currency, giving Facebook Libra new life, and prompting mortgage lenders like Wells Fargo and U.S. banks to seek tech upgrades. Okay, so they talk about the virus triggering all of these centralized coins. Great. I mean, I'm no fan of people like talking about the virus at every turn of the corner, but if those are going to trigger the Fed coin, and or those are going to be the excuses for Fed coin and bank coin, they're great. That's your excuse. Let them come out there. Let compete. Don't complain. Let them compete with Bitcoin, and they will bring about great things for Bitcoin also. Okay, so the report is there. You can read the report yourself. Gold mentioned, Bitcoin compared to gold, Libra stuff, et cetera, et cetera. It's good. It's good. And hey, professionally put together. For those of you who like fancy sets and graphics, you should enjoy it. There's that shirt, baby. Pound that like button. Let me see who's saying hi over there today. All right, good. We got again. We got my guys in. I love my guys in New Zealand. All right. When you travel outside the USA, other than debit and credit cards, do you ever use Bitcoin ATMs? No, I don't. For local currency, no, I don't. I've never changed any of my Bitcoin into cash. So no, I would never ever do something. I'm offended by selling my Bitcoin. I would not use a Bitcoin ATM to get foreign currency. Again, foreign currency. I live in the country with the best fiat currency, so I would never want to, God forbid, degrade my Bitcoin into something even less than the dollar. I'm going to vomit when I'm even thinking about that. But I do enjoy seeing Bitcoin ATMs in different countries. I mean, specifically in Tel Aviv, I in the Bitcoin embassy, they have that one. And I think there's another one on King George Street. I really want to go back to Tel Aviv. It's so unfortunate. This worldwide lockdown on travel. It's such nonsense. We're going to get to that in a second, of course. So thank you for the question. Keep them coming, people. All right. So back to let's talk about social media in cryptocurrency. I know I talk about people saying Twitter can be so toxic. They were talking about today, and then some people say no, it's not that toxic. It actually. Cryptocurrency Twitter, since there are a lot of 80%ers in it. There is a lot of it is toxic. A lot of it is just people screaming and fudding and everything like that. That doesn't mean you should not read people's Twitter feeds, because again, the people that I talk about, if you read their Twitter feeds like a blog, you're not going to be exposed to some of the insanity that's out there on. I mean, Twitter as a whole, social media as a whole, not just cryptocurrency social media, is toxic. People are just screaming harpies, and they want to get out their frustration at life in a quite a passive aggressive way. They don't compete. They complain. They're not in motion. So that's, social media is an outlet for people that are just not in motion. So of course there's going to be a lot of toxicity, but it's a great learning opportunity. Also, there are smart people sharing so much stuff. So on that note, I wanted to bring up a site called lunarcrush.com, and they measure, well, the mentions of all the coins, all sorts of altcoins. They measure the social volume. Excited about Bitcoin moving up today? Bitcoin social volume has hit a weekly high of 8,134 posts per hour today, with total 24-hour volume hitting 113,951 total posts. So it's an interesting metric. It's unique. You can see how. So a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin, and they measure it. Very good in the social media realm. It tells you a little bit that maybe the hype is starting. That the more people, hey, as I've said, a lot of the social media mention of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is nonsense and complaining. But you got to say, when the volume does increase, it's good for Bitcoin. It's good. Some 80%ers, some no coiners will stumble upon it, and they will learn about this magical digital money, and they'll be one step closer to buying and holding. Although that can be a very long journey for all the impulsive fiat freak traders who value their wealth in dollars and not in Bitcoin. All right, so now we're going to move on to the virus part of the show, because there's some developments in that today. Let me just make sure. The sun is shining in New Zealand, says Barefoot Barry. I got to tell you, man, here in Los Angeles, it is hot out there today. I haven't been outside, but I can tell it's hot. I had the windows open. So I'm going running soon after this. And yes, of course, go outside. I go outside every day. Every darn day, you better believe I go outside without a mask. Oh, man. So end the lockdown, says Barry. Yeah, and some states are ending the lockdown, and we'll talk about that. So the news coming out of New York today, so many people downplay it. There are statistics out there that show that so many more people have been infected with this thing. Thus, it is not as deadly as people have said it is. As you know, Carl Denninger at the Market Ticker, he has articles on this today. I linked to the specific ones below. I'll quote him in a second. But Carl Denninger, me, other people out there have been saying this for a while. The statistics have been pretty clear for a while, that it's not as deadly as other. But for healthy people, it isn't very deadly at all. At all, it's quite. And the numbers are now really coming out there. I mean, it was on the cover of Fox News even. Today, saying I think maybe 15% of New Yorkers may have been already infected, and thus, if that many people have been infected, and you know how many people have died, the death rate is much lower than when you thought many less people were infected. So let's go to what I have written down about this. New York Daily virus death report says if you didn't have one of the underlying conditions they specifically listed, your risk of being killed by this bug was roughly equal to your all-cause mortality. So do you know what that means? I mean, if you're a healthy person and you catch this thing, the likelihood of you dying is just like the likelihood of you dying from just living. That's all it is. It's not deadly at all. It might be slightly above that. Okay. So the report has also said the bug is from anywhere from a quarter to a half of the mortality from this bug came from nursing home patients. And that's that's an incredible number too. That of all the deaths out there that we've been hearing about, a quarter to a half have come from people in nursing homes in New York, at least, and other states. And it just shows you what this thing really is. It is real. It's real, but it hurts. It kills sick people that are in. And so you don't lock up healthy people to prevent people in nursing homes from dying. You lock up the nursing homes. All right. Personal responsibility right there. So in Georgia, someone asked me about Georgia yesterday and how they're going back to work, basically. And here's a tweet from the governor, or about the governor. It says, the governor of Georgia isn't mandating anything. He's encouraging self-determination and personal responsibility. So if you don't want to go out, don't go out in Georgia, okay? If you're scared, even after all these statistics are out there, if you're a healthy 30-year-old person, you're not in a nursing home, but you're still scared about getting a nursing home disease, okay? You don't have to go out. You don't have to go to the barbershops that are going to open and everything, okay? So the governor of Georgia isn't forcing people to go work, okay? He's just saying you don't have to stay at home anymore, all right? There was a rule saying, all sorts of horrible regulations. This can't be open, that can be open. Now, wow, people are free to open their businesses again. Oh my God, imagine that. That's amazing. But some people aren't very happy about that. And I got to say, some people are so desperate to have the government tell them what to do and to tell them what is right and wrong. They really need to grow up and be able to wipe their own tuchluses, okay? It just has revealed so much about how people need an authority to tell them to do the basic things. Okay, you're allowed to go outside now. Oh, it's unsafe to go outside, so don't go outside. This is what grown-ups have devolved into this. And going back to Georgia, going back to work, and good for Georgia. The president of the United States yesterday said he's against it. He thinks that Georgia is moving too fast. So it just shows you out there. I say fitting in is overrated. These politicians, they try to fit in. He's just, he's trying to see what the general population, what the masses are thinking. And the president of the United States, he thinks that a lot of people, maybe in the swing states, they're still scared. So he's going to rip on Georgia, okay? But see, he's got to know with all the advisors he has, I mean, unless he's stupid, that Georgia going back to work it's no threat. It's no threat. It's nothing to be worried about. But even he tries to fit in. And it's just a reminder that some of the people that prominent people, they say certain things, they don't even mean it. They just want to fit in, okay? And fitting in right now, which is totally overrated, is, we have to be cautious. We have to take our time. Oh, Georgia is moving too fast. It's ridiculous. Take the emotion out of the equation, dude. Learn the freaking pure stats and speak the truth or don't speak at all, okay? If you need to speak to fit into virtue signal, I mean, you're pathetic. So Donald Trump, no, you're not getting any slack from me on that. You're trying to fit in, and that is totally overrated. All right, I think that's it for the show. Oh no, Polia is good here. Good to see him. What countries will be travel friendly this year? Ooh, that Sweden probably will. And I say probably because some of these countries might think like, oh, we did a great job. We did a great job dealing with this situation. We don't want to let any foreigners in. So they might be a little backward thinking. But I hope they're not. I think that some countries will come to their, and again, they might just try to fit in they might like measure what people are thinking, and people wrongfully in some of these countries will probably think foreigners are bad. Foreigners are carrying the diseases. They are going to scapegoat foreigners. So even successful countries like Sweden and some of the Asian countries, they might their leaders might be sociopathic and want to consolidate power and do that instead of through scaring people about the people inside their country about the virus, just scapegoat foreigners. So, it's hard to it's hard to really predict which ones will be travel friendly at this point, because I got to see who's going down that scapegoat route. But Sweden loves foreigners. How about this? Sweden has always maintained, or in recent years, a very liberal immigration policy. Okay, when I was in Malmo, I saw on the streets of Malmo, you see Iraqis and Sudanese people. It's pretty crazy. So I'll stick with Sweden then, because they're not. How can they scapegoat foreigners when they're continuing their liberal immigration policies? So yeah, maybe I will be. And maybe some of the other Nordic countries that haven't been as cool about this virus as Sweden has. Denmark, I think, is sending kids back to school soon. So since all of the Nordic countries love to have people from the Middle East and Africa move there, that they will take that mentality into letting anyone from anywhere visit there, because there's going to be a lot of countries. I think. I'm personally worried that Israel is going to be paranoid up until the end, and not because they're so small. Also, they'll just have this mentality. Well, we're so small anyway. Let's keep people out for as long as possible. But there'll probably be a growing voice in Israel, because they depend a lot on tourism. So if they were in their right freaking minds. And now Netanyahu is already, he's gained his prime ministership. So maybe, because he was using the virus to scare people into consolidating power. Now that he has power, maybe he'll go the other way and consider the financial ramifications for the state of Israel and a lot of other countries out there that are going to be destroyed this summer if they don't have tourism. I saw the projections for Nevada and Hawaii for their unemployment, and they're some of the highest unemployment projections of all the states. Why is that? It's because of their economies are so based around tourism. And there's going to be, like it or not, so many people are freaked out. Tourism is not going to be what it was this summer. But if we start to change the mentality right now, and people start moving around right now, and I'm really looking forward to getting on a plane on May 31st. And people start getting on planes more now, then Las Vegas and Honolulu will not be as hurt as much as people are predicting. But yeah, tourism will be the last industry to recover, probably. And Kiwi Bloke says New Zealand is suffering Stockholm syndrome. They call the prime minister the mother of the nation. Yeah, man. It is really those dudes who founded New Zealand, they were manly freaking men, okay? And now they worship and bootlick the feet of a 40-year-old woman? I mean, it's unbelievable how New Zealand has been pathetic with this. All right. That's it. And I loved being in New Zealand, okay? But I can't believe how they worship this woman there. I mean, I see her speak, and I just think about, like, she could be the governor of Michigan, which is obviously something I don't respect very much. I know the governor of Michigan is pathetic also, how she tries to scare people. But yeah, it's unfortunate. We've lost a masculine mentality in the Western world, be it in New Zealand, Australia, Europe, and United States. But speak up. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, people. All right, I'm Adam. There's nothing to worry about, and just do normal activities, despite what mommy government might tell you. All right, I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out all the links below. Pound that like button, bang that bell button. And again, tomorrow 11 a.m. New York time this week in Bitcoin. 3 weeks in a row with a guest from Australia. So that'll be fun. See ya.